Okay, recording. Hello, Cam Smith here. It's been a long time since I've done a video update, sort of showing not just suits and suit construction and testing, but sort of the whole flying system. And we're about to go flying, get into the air, and I thought I'd sort of walk you around the chaos here, the mess, and you can get an idea of the many puzzle pieces that have to be put together in the right way to make a successful flying operation. And it's total chaos in here right now, but I thought I would just walk you through, and you can see a few of the things that we're working on that need to happen. So for example, here's an old suit on the floor, and there's not a great place to store it right now, and occasionally I do look at it and take some ideas from it. Here's a new suit. This one is the suit that I can put on in less than 10 minutes by myself. The checklist is very small, and that's because I've worked very hard to consolidate the pieces, consolidate everything, get all the systems together. Nothing, how do I say it? No sort of stop gaps. Everything is pretty much in its final flying configuration. All of our connectors are nice. We have really good through ports for gas and electrics and everything going through the suit, for example. A lot of work on the thermal cap, which runs coolant or heating fluid through these hoses that keep my scalp warm or cool. The comm systems are plugged in, they all work nicely, and all of that, for example, is routed down through all of our cables and hoses inside the helmet, for example, and these are all flame proof now. Everything is flame proof and everything very durable. This is our old test unit, and we use it to monitor suit pressurization tests, that sort of thing, heart rate, blood oxygenation, all of that. It's been a while since we've done one of those because I've been starting to do these tests by myself. Now a lot of containers, and these contain, for example, here our umbilicals will go in here. These connect the suit to the various again, gas and electrics and fluids that we pump through the suit. Here's a flight survival kit. Here's a spare helmet just laying around. An aviator's breathing, one of our breathing oxygen sets. It goes to our breathing oxygen tanks. Some extra clothing goes into this trunk that is for the flight crew who manage the balloon, handle the balloon. We don't want it to anybody to get hurt by fire, so it's all flame-proof clothing, for example, in there. Here's my now very durable portable life support system, and this basically looks pretty rough shape. I need to do a bit of work on it, but basically this one delivers and regulates my suit temperature, gas, supplies, and it doesn't stand up well because it's meant to be hung. It hangs inside the balloon, you see. So there's really not a good way to store it because again it's meant to be hung, so I need to put a base on that. It's going to fall over. There we go. Someday I'll make a whole video on that. Oh, we carry about 6 different radios. So here are a couple of radios, and then here's a VHF radio set. Here's the coolant box, and this actually thermal box. It pumps fluid to either warm or cool me, depending on the all kinds of variables during the flight. That's entirely self-contained. It works beautifully. One of our more successful items. A couple of balloon fuel tanks. They have quite a bit of fuel in them, so I didn't want to store them in my storage unit with fuel inside, and I monitor them closely here at home. A trunk with a lot of flying equipment in it, flying instrument box. I'm going to make tags for all of these. Another whole set of analog flying instruments. I normally use electronic, but as a backup I have a very heavy, durable analog backup set, and we'll be testing that, and it has the function of telling me, of course, about the flying state of the balloon, what the balloon is doing. And also we'll be using it increasingly and moving away from electronic systems because batteries always die in the cold of high altitudes. Here's all the balloon navigation equipment. is inside this case. Oral nasal mask and other parts for flying at high altitude. At first I'll be flying a little bit with the pressure suit on, but oftentimes flying with just an O2 mask while somebody else is flying with me wearing a pressure suit, and I'll be able to observe them and observe the function of the pressure suit before I'm wearing it myself to high altitudes. Here's some of our gas supplies. Aviators breathing oxygen. It's specially prepared oxygen. It's very dry. It doesn't have moisture in it, and that prevents ice from building up inside your lines at low temperatures of high altitudes. And then these are normal scuba bottles, although some can take oxygen as well. They're used to supply gas for balloon flying at various altitudes. More craziness over here, piles of extra suits, a whole array of helmets underway, some of them complete, well, most of them complete. There's an entire suit bladder ready to be essentially assembled and integrated into its various layers. Here in a closet, pretty old Pacific Spaceflight trunks. One of these we took to Copenhagen back in 2013, visiting Copenhagen suborbitals. All kinds of coveralls to wear while we're out there, hanging up here. A lot of ropes. Ballooning is a lot like sailing, which I really love. It's a lot like sailing because there are a lot of ropes, a lot of knots. Things move relatively slowly. You fly according to what the wind does, just like sailing. And even the motions of a balloon are sort of slow and creaky, sort of like a sailboat in nice weather anyway. So there are some of the pieces, right? All of that stuff gets assembled together and cleaned up, which is what I'm doing over the next week or so here. All of that gets assembled, cleaned up, and then we have a whole set. We have a manifest. Everything that we are going to pack into the vehicles, we drive out to the country and we do our flying. But it starts this way, and it takes a couple of weeks of doing this to get it right. Now, we could just kind of throw it all in and try and fly, and we might be successful flying that way. But it doesn't take much to make a flight not succeed really well. And to really make it work well, I have lots of checklists and a lot of preparation. So that's what we're doing in this coming week, and then we go flying next week, and I'll have an update with cool pictures and video of that later, wearing the suit and flying my balloon in one of these pressure suits. Okay, that's it for now.